let the network be friendly to us today. It's struggling. All right. Who is there? Who is there? Who is watching? Rookie, hi. You guys are going to have a great time tonight because we have the devil's advocate is in the house. Charles Itutu Mene from Alternate Views podcast. Double tap and share the video. Thank you, Rookie. Thank you, Temidayo. Good evening, Temidayo. You said please fix the mic. Oh, this mic is not working. It's blinking. All right, how is the mic now? So, listen, guys, it's going to be a very, very productive night. It's going to be 1 hour, 15 minutes thereabout. Thank you, Sidoff, because we have a guest in the house. Initially I said that we're going to come live again on Friday, but because we have a guest, and I want him to share his perspective on the Universal Year 8 that I've been talking about. Because, like I said, this we're already in. When you, if you are a student of numerology, you would understand that the energy of a cycle is usually activated before the cycle begins. So 2 months before the new universal new year, the energy of that new year is activated, kicks in. And this is why when you study the concept of personal year, and I've said that many times, a lot of you are already in 2025. Because in numerology, you don't prepare in the year, you prepare for the year. So tonight we're going to look at, this is like a continuation of the universal year 9. And many of you know who I'm bringing on. His name is Charles Itutu Mene. Charles Itutu Mene from the alternate view. Because see, I my desire is to see a lot of people take this knowledge that we share, run with it, not just apply it in their own life, but also be crusaders and ambassadors of this knowledge. And Charles is someone that has proven over time to be a good student and a consistent applicant of esoteric knowledge, especially numerology. Charles is someone that I can let him work with people in my absence, and let him work, on people's charts and all that in my absence. So I'm going to bring Charles on board now. And one of the reasons I'm bringing Charles on board, so that you guys can get to start knowing him, is because one, he's starting his podcast November 11th. His podcast is starting November 11th, and the podcast is titled Alternate View. The Devil's Advocate, Charles Itutumene, Alternate View. So later on after his lecture, I'm going to tell you about his page so you can follow him. So guys, welcome Charles to speak to us on
Numerology, Universal Year 9.
the Universal Year 9. Let's go.
Wow. Greetings, Grand Rising. I salute your divinity, Moon Rising. Anyone apart from good morning, because we are not mourning anybody. Wow. Where should we start from? Let's use a Bible verse to start this. Let's just enjoy ourselves with a Bible verse. Let's start with Universal Year 9. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing will be added unto you. Why do I use a Bible verse? The truth is, every religion has truths in it. It's just mixed up. They mixed it up, people misread it, they have counterfeit information about all these new religions. But there are some truths there. That's why Mr. Femi will say you are the source, and every other things are tools for what you want to achieve. You use the tools of the universe. The computer, the technology is a tool. Your ornament is a tool. Your candles are tools. They are all tools. So Universal Year 9 is a year when they say, seek ye first the kingdom of God. Go within first, and every other thing will be added unto you. That's the short definition of Universal Year 9. It's a year that's on the positive side of Universal Year 9. It's a year whereby your emotions, you have a plan chance to go global, go international, finish up things you wanted to start. You can actually finish it up in Universal Year 9. Your dreams are even postponing. You can take it to the next level. It's a year of love, like humanitarian love, yeah, to show love where human beings get to have empathy towards whatever they are doing. Universal Year 9. That's the year of it on a normal positive mode. But Universal Year 9 has two sides. To understand Universal Year 9, you can basically first understand the 9 energy. That is why when they ask questions in numerology, like, I'm a 9, I'm an 8, I'm a 7. Yes, but you're supposed to know all the numbers because you meet a personal year 9, a personal year 8 in your life. You meet a pinnacle circle 7, pinnacle circle 9. So if you just claim to be one, you cannot alchemize the energy of the numbers. The numbers are encoded messages used by your soul on your divine blueprint when you come to earth to guide you on things that will favor you in specific periods and how things should go. So that's why you have to alchemize all the numbers. But today now we'll go deeper a bit into the 9 energy first. So from there we can start to break down to understand what Universal 9 Year 9 will give to us. First thing for what are the attributes of Universal of 9 energy? Let's go with that first. You can see humanitarian, wisdom, Hope you guys can see me clearly, see what I'm doing clearly. Okay. Can go global, love, yeah, love, empathy, loyalty. 9 is a very, very loyal. It's a very principled and loyal number. So your loyalty is there. Charismatic, dominating, creative, because 6 is a manifesting energy. Charismatic, dominating. Yes, dominating. Creative, because it's the last part of the 369 manifestation, manifesting triad. And the manifesting triad is for manifesting and creating. So it's the last part. They are creative for 9. They are highly creative. Adaptable. 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 Now, these are all very beautiful parts about the Rasa 9. As you can see, they are all nice healers. You can say, okay, they heal, yeah, because they are healers. The energy of creation, the feminine and masculine energy, which causes balance. Like as you can see on my neck, I actually wear a balanced energy of creation. You can see it's a 6 and a 9. That's the importance of the balance there, 6 and 9. So now let's go to the 6 and 9. The 6 and the 9. Feminine, creative, less dominant. And the 9, the more creative, masculine aspect of it, the more dominating aspect of it. The 6 and the 9, the more dominating aspect, power. Looking backward, retrospection. The 6 is looking backward. These two combines together in the creative triad. If you add 3 to it, if you add 3, we have the creative energy. So it's already giving you hints of what you should expect in the 9 a.m. That the most creative people are the ones that go far. And creativity comes from the spirit. Because you can have all the inspiration, but your spirit is where you get your divine insight on how to be creative. That's why artists usually carry 9 energy, P squares. The two brothers are 9s. They have 9 as their date of birth. So they have 9 in their chart. So that 9 energy, you can already see that it's always in the creative triad. So now let's look at now the negative parts of a 9 that is vibrating wrong, because we can reflect it back to how the year will be like. What do we see? First one, they get hot easily. This is the first part. Stay stuck in the past. Third one, finds it hard to forgive. Fourth, feeling like the victim always. Feeling like the victim always. 5, expecting that because they did something from their hearts. From their hearts. they are always right. Mhm. Yeah. Look, let me just write down the basis of the number so we can from there we'll be dissecting the entire year, what to expect from it. We can say past suicidal, very important. Suicidal can be narcissistic also. Narcissistic. As you can clearly see that this is a very, very emotional number. This is a number that has a lot of emotional baggage there. That when you see someone finds it hard to forgive, you can also call it challenge of letting go. We can put it as that too. They are all the challenge of fear of abandonment, fear of abandonment, fear to be abandoned. Why am I writing about the number 9 first? Because when I write about now, you'll now be able to understand why the year is going to be different from every other year. Bottled up emotions, there are lots, nines. You can see that you already see a lot of emotional baggage here. That means it's spiritual because emotions and all this come from spirit. Bottled up emotions. These are the things you should expect from a 9. As you can see, bottled up emotions, suicidal, feel like the victim, moody, being oversensitive. So by all these signs already, emotionally scarred, moody, feeling sensitive, easily hurt. Let me add moody. I'm bringing all this point out because next year is going to be dangerous for people that are not conscious of things like this. So to dissect universal year 9, we dissect the 9. Moody, oversensitive, like getting hurt easily, oversensitive. This is clearly not a 1 energy, and this is clearly not a 5 energy, and this is clearly not an 8 energy. An 8 energy doesn't really want to be sentimental, and 8 energy just want to win, to get financial material things, and an 8 energy is okay. An 8 energy wants to use money to buy your loyalty, doesn't expect you to feel what his emotions are feeling. A 4 is not this sensitive, it's more structured. So now, imagine now in a year that people are not conscious of being humanitarian, global, wisdom, love, empathy, loyalty, being charismatic, to dominate, to be creative in a positive way. Imagine when they are feeding you on the media wrong informations, fear triggers, and every other thing to make people radiate a different energy, and they start radiating the negative perspective of the 9. Then you can get people being too emotionally sensitive, people taking advantage of each other, people becoming killing other people without feeling you. I see high rate of what they call ritualism and all the rest, and fights, killings, and wars coming out. You see people having fear of not knowing what is happening to them because of the emotions of the year. You see a lot of bottled up emotions. Like Nigeria right now is a hitting time bomb with a lot of bottled up emotions. You can clearly see the signs of the all over the world, bottled up emotions against you, against other countries. Let me just not call names to keep our page alive. But you can clearly sense the energy of a gradual build up to a lot of things. And we all feel the energy because your universal energy, you feel it, though you feel more of your personal energy, but the universal energy is what everyone feels together. We all feel the universal energy together as a collective. You feel the universal energy. You feel it together, then you now have your personal energy, which will now alchemize with your universal energy. Like if you are on a personal year 9, or you have a lot of 9 in your chart as your day of birth and life paths, you expect to have more of these emotions to be magnified. The way a universal year, personal day of birth 8, or life path 8, made a lot of money last year. I know a 8 personally that changed his car, 2 cars, bought 2 cars last year and changed. And his date of birth is 8. He has his maturity number 8. He has a lot of 8 in his charts. So the eighth energy of this year, no matter all the Tinubu challenges, and he doesn't know anything as esoteric, it just opened doors for him. And that's the same way you see the same magnitude for the nine energy. That's how it works here. So above all, if we are not conscious of it in the nine energy, there will be a lot of words, because the nine is very extreme in anything it's doing. The eight is a karmic energy that you reap what is sow, and is karma, you can reap good. The nine doesn't pity. The nine goes extreme. The way you see the emotional unbalance, that is the same way it goes extreme. What is the difference between Putin and Stalin? Stalin was a seven. I mean, Putin has a lot of seven in his chart. I think date of birth 7, life at 7. Stalin had a lot of nines in his chart. It was a 9. 9 was one of his core energies. And Stalin could kill a lot of Russians. He killed a lot of Russians. He did. He killed the poor Russians that his wife had to commit suicide because she was tired of hiding the secret of how Russians were dying in secret, all for his greater agenda. And in his own mind, he was operating from this point of view, whereby he's expecting that because he's doing it from his heart for the greater Russia, he's always right. Why millions of Russians died? Because he wanted to wipe out the poverty rates. A 9 as a president can kill all the street boys on the road and just kill them and be like, he's doing it from his heart. So that is the kind of energy you get from the 9. So this 9, we're going to not only talk about the 9 energy and what to expect. Well, I'll give advices on how we can go through the 9 to scale through, so that it can affect you positively to take advantage. Because people around me don't even understand the way I move. My family, they don't understand. But how can I explain to them when I know esoteric knowledge? I work with charts. There's a universal year 8. I'm an 8. I know how a lot of people expected me to fall, but did not just understand how I was surviving. But me, I understood why. I understood what is happening around me. If you think esotericism is not working well, or these things don't work well, Asian astrology, the person that lost the election in USA, we know her. She was born in 1964. That's a dragon year. They removed Joe Biden and put her there. She's a life part 5. The election was on November 5th. They pushed everything, but Trump on his own is in the 8th pinnacle, and 8th pinnacle always wins. So they are deeper. They use every tool at their disposal. They alchemize, even if it means any other form of election manipulation, which I don't want to talk into that. But it's all about alchemizing every energy available to you. Mr. Femi will tell you about manifestation, that it doesn't just start from wishing. It starts from your brain, inspired action, and everything you do. So this knowledge is also used, and it's very important. Added up. Since last year or this year, I have been working on my own healing already, generating personal power more and more. Because I'm already aware that next year, if you think people have taken advantage of you this year, people were greedy because things are tough, they will take advantage of you more next year. Because of when they are not operating on the positive frequency of the 9, narcissism, healing, suicidal will come into place. You expect more of this. You see people finding it hard to forgive, passive aggression, more protests. So in a way, we are happy whoever won this election won. Maybe can ease the pressure. Because if it wasn't who that won, it would have been excessive. So let's just leave it at that. We all understand what I'm talking about. So what are the things you can use the universal year 9 for? Then I'll also talk about how important it is for you to heal and how you should heal emotionally, because we need to talk about emotion, because universal year 9 is wired by emotion. Emotion is your spirit. Your emotion is what helps you get into it. It's the subconscious and spiritual language of getting access to you. It's the energy. Emotions are energies. That is why you can call it vibe. You can go to someone you feel vibe. It's a year of the spirit guided by the emotion. That's why I say seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing will be added unto you. It's universal year 9. Seek within yourself the God and heal. These are what the 9 universal year is supposed to be used for. But we'll go deep down into it. So more importantly first, when Mr. Femi teaches about manifestation, he's talking about healing, the inner child. Universal year 9 is a year that those emotions will come back to you. The universe will bring it back to everybody to feel it more. And the ones that are not conscious, that's why we're hoping that the more we spread this kind of information, we can make more people conscious to make this Earth a conducive place for everybody to live in. And it's not just going to be in Nigeria, it's going to be worldwide. You can see everywhere they are. Before the year starts from the building energy for the year starts from October, November. Even in African calendar, the new year has already started by August, October. That's when they start farming. They start farming there because the new year has already started to start your project for the next year. So the energy of tension was already rising. That's why I said we are happy whoever won, so that it can be a bit eased. And if whoever did not win, if the other person might won, the tensions would have escalated more. And you can see that the Israeli prime minister has sacked his chief security officer. We can see that other people are making moves to calm me down. That's one of the advantages, because the 9 would have taken advantage of that energy with the wrong person to make the world more comfortable for everybody. So it's good when we share these information with each other to learn more, to be more conscious. So the 9 energy, the negative parts of it, which I've talked about first, is that the universe will bring about more vampiristic and narcissistic killings, more violence. It's not to get too scared. It's for you to be conscious, because when you're connected with your spirit, you will avoid all this. I was coming on a journey yesterday, and I told my spirit that I didn't want to be stressed by checkpoints. And they picked up 2 policemen traveling with me, and at every checkpoint they were fighting to make sure we go to where we want to go to. Those are works of your spirit and manifestation. I said it before leaving the house. I decreed from my own place of power. I said it, and it happened that way because of this kind of knowledge about esotericism. So it's very important in this universal line. You channel your personal power. You go into your spirit. You commune with your spirit, and you have to heal. You don't start businesses in the universal year 9. You don't start businesses because universal year 9 usually gives you this energy to take you backward. It gives these feelings like 7 and 9 has the ability to make you feel like you're in the same place. Because there are things that force you to, their numbers that force you to reflect. But 9 comes from a more emotional point of view that is very unbalanced. So it will give you that energy to reflect back. So starting a project in the 9 year is not advisable. It's better you continue what you started to finish strong and drop the weight so that your spirit will be lifted more to guide you better. Because you have no idea. If you watch, study, listen to yoga instructors, you listen to spiritual teachers, even in our African spirituality, if they do something for you, they'll tell you that you have to make sure that your spirit is in tune. You don't carry a lot of emotional weight, because the stress you think you carry every day weighs your entire body down. And before you know it, affects your spirit being comfortable with your body. The 9 energy can, instead of people to feel like, okay, let me reflect and try to heal, because that's what the universe is giving this message, that reflect and heal and leave these things behind to go to the next stage. But to take people to take it to blame, guilt, blaming someone, instead of to feel guilt, which is an energy of conscious healing, that's an emotion that can be used for you to understand yourself more, to face your shadow self, the guilt, they turn it to blame, and that usually can cause the violence, you see, in the universal year 9. So it's a year that teaches you that you should focus on your cultivating your personal power, connect with your spirit and soul more, so that you'll be guided more by your intuition and your spirit to do the right things, to make the right moves, to go to the right places, to continue to any business you've already started. You take it to the next level. It's a year of connecting with people. The business you should try to connect more people from a point of love, humanitarian empathy. When you connect like that, the universe will back you universal year 9. You connect to that energy. You work on your creativity. Creativity comes from within. Your deep thinking for solutions. You work on your creative aspect of your side to find about creativity, to promote what you've already started this year and previous year. You don't start anything. Universal year 9 is making you to clear your baggage, because the next year is universal year 1. You're starting something new. So you cannot be living in the past of old energies. That's why the universal year 9 is forcing you to reflect on what you need to change. One of the things you can do is that you can stay in universal year 9 and start and write 9 things I've learned in the past 9 years. To just reflect on it, or 9 things that I can drop. What are the 9 things that I need to remove from my life that can help me in the year going forward? These are reflective questions you ask yourself. What is this character that I'm doing that is not taking me forward? You drop the baggage. A lot of relationships end. Universal year 9 is a year where people die. I have friends that have lost parents or dads in their personal year 9 or pinnacle 9 for them to go to the next level. So it's a transformative ending year. It's an even in if you're doing occult or one or two spiritualities, when you want to gather enough power to perform something, they can say 18 days, they can say 9, they can say 9 days. They always use the 9 energy because it shows completion. It makes it work. 369 vortex. So for what I've explained for you now, the universal year 9 is a year that we'll see a lot of emotions in the entire Nigeria. We'll see people with emotions, a lot of confusions everywhere. But if you can channel it positively and cultivate your spirit, you can avoid these problems and they will not come near you, because people that are not conscious and you're just being kind, you can be taken advantage of a lot, because things will get tougher. To get tougher in this universal year 9, except we are conscious enough to spread the knowledge more and people try to vibrate the more positive frequency of the 9. Fulfill your dreams, your businesses, yeah. You finish them up that year. Jobs that is weighing you down, you feel it's not taking to your next level, you leave it in that year, the universal year 9. The ones that will take you to your next new stage in the universal year 1, those are the ones that will be left behind. It takes you global. It's an opportunity also to go global. Universal year 9 can push you to the global and take you then from your universal year 1, takes you to continue winning, because 8, 9, and 1, they work together. After the 8th year of abundance of plan and karmic, when you're in the 9th year, you're following up from the plans of your 8th year. Then your 9th year, you are pushing you global. Then in the next year 1, you have taken over that's taking you global. You're now a different person, starting on a winning perspective now in universal year 1 to continue those projects, or now you can now start the other projects you wanted to add. You can now start it in universal year 1. So 9 is not a year you start anything new. So now let's talk deep about emotions. So let's talk about about the emotions more, because emotions is going to be a roller coaster, and emotions is the main reason for everything on this universe. Your manifestation comes from your emotions. Your emotions are not your weaknesses. It's very important I talk about it now, because we are entering a very emotional year. In the karmic year 8, I'll talk more about what you sow is what you reap. In the karmic year 8, karma balancing things. As long as you've put in the effort the previous year, you're getting the results now. But universal year 9 is a year of reflection. There are keywords for the universal year 9, which summarizes everything about the universal year 9. Consolidation, reflection, refinement of character. Let me clean this up. I think this space can I use for this? I can use here this small space here. Consolidation. Refinement of character. Removing old wounds and old baggages. Refinement of character. These are keywords in the universal year 9. Wisdom, releasing old energy. Wisdom comes from within. Self-reflection. Wisdom. Releasing old energy. Completion. Yeah, concerning completion. So you can see the energy totally, what is saying, these are all you should use for your next year as your universal year 9. You don't start new things. You heal, you go back to the old wounds that have pained you. They are bringing it back to you. The universe is bringing back those old wounds to you, so that you can reflect on them and you won't carry it into the new universal year 1 you're going to. That's why the universe is bringing those old wounds to you. It's not for you to blame again. It's for you to face your shadow self and face the guilt and go through that process, because every of your emotions are not your weaknesses. Your emotions is your way your spirit talks to you. How can you differentiate what your spirit is telling you if you're not conscious of your emotions? Mr. Femi talked about being in the conscious state whereby you are aware of every emotion that passes through you. You are aware of your thoughts. It's an universal N9 that helps you to. He was maybe teaching in preparation for the universal N9 because it's a year whereby you have to understand, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling this way? What is the message behind these emotions? Is this emotions good? Why am I having this fear? When you investigate the fear most times is the secret to your breakthrough most of the times. What you fear the most is usually where you're supposed to conquer and challenge in life more. Most people have achieved a lot by defeating their fear. And when you have defeat your fear, it gives you the courage you want to go where you want to go. When you reflect and take away the guilt and you forgive yourself, it eases your body of illness and sicknesses because the grudges and pains you have in your heart. That's why when you feel sad, you have a depression, or you lost a mega deal, the next 2 days you have malaria has got you because it came from your emotions. So the Universal Year 9 is a year that you reflect on every single part. Friends that you have been maintaining and they are not working well with you, if you're managing their character, you review everything looking back, like the 9 energy faces back, and you review all, and then you decide which of them you want to leave behind and the one that you want to take forward. You must release all the energies from your body, mentally, physically, anything holding you back that will not benefit your future. In this Universal Year 9, you must release all the energy. You must face reality for what it is and accept things for what they are, not what you wish to be true, but for what they actually are. You face reality for what they actually are, not what you feel is the truth, or what your emotions, or what you fear should be the truth. I have a suspicion that a lot of religious revolution will happen next year, because everywhere I see around on social media platforms, I'm seeing a conscious aggression from people. Every time people bring about religion, it's happening everywhere. Next year is going to be a period where we'll face a lot of reality checks, even in our institutional sectors, in our religious sectors. I can see subconsciously people on social media talking about next election, don't sell your vote, next election, don't do this, don't do that. Yeah, they are saying it now. A change doesn't just happen in one day. But we can clearly see that there's a consciousness of people hitting a reality to know that at a certain point, whatever they were doing to be selfish and greedy to sell vote, or one or two things they did before, is not actually going to work again this time around. The idea of self-reflection is already consciously catching up the social media spaces. Aggression towards different religion. When someone talk about religion, you see people are countering him. Someone talk about selling votes, someone will counter him. They're not saying it's no longer about pride, not about religion. These are energies of the Universal Year 9. This Universal Year 9, the way Universal Year 8 has revealed a lot of secrets to us, 9 is going to complete it, because the entire world is going to a new cycle, a new era, whether we like it or not. We are just here to make sure we spread the consciousness, to make it positive, to make sure we don't get it on the negative and extreme side of the 9. Because the reason why we see most of the aggressions or the problems of violence that happens online is because people that are not conscious enough, when the media manipulates their emotions, then we go out and we see violence everywhere because they are not conscious of this kind of information, so they are not aware. So the people that are in charge of those whatever medias know what they are doing by dropping snippet of information, and knowing that people that are like Mr. Femi called charlatans will push a wrong narrative and say anything online, and then push people, and they take actions, and there's a violence, and they see goes back to the main people's agenda. So this 9 year is a moment to tell people to promote more of love, promote more of connecting with people, promote more of being to yourself. The more you connect with yourself in Universal Year 9, you tend to understand people more, because God is not in any building. We are all in God. From Him, everything was created. Let there be, in the beginning there was nothing. He said, let there be light. Word first, word sound frequency first before light frequency came. So it is inside of Him, is experiencing Himself in every single person. So that is the concept. So when you go more into yourself, that's when you now generate the natural empathy for your brother or your sister. The Universal Year 9 gives everybody that opportunity. Because the more you meditate and heal your own wounds, that is the more you understand what people are going through. There's something Mr. Femi will tell me. He'll say, I've been someone that maybe I was taking advantage of some of my talents growing up. I can say it because I've healed from it. That people took advantage of some of my kindness or some things they felt was weakness, which were just me being my authentic self. And he could feel it because he has gone to himself and healed from those shadow wounds within him, his own self. And that's why he can understand where I was coming from. Those are the opportunities that Universal and I will give to you. It's not just a year of just having intellect to help you, yes. You will know it to help you. It will help your freedom, but it's a year where you must face those emotions. All the voice that cause you those unhappiness, dissatisfaction, it's here that teaches you that you must break free. That if you don't face those emotions, the 9 year upon 9 energy will punish you. It's a very ruthless energy. It's not a forgiving energy, it's a very emotional. If you don't face those emotions, the universe will keep repeating it to you. If you don't face those emotions, the universe say 9 to keep repeating those scenarios with you. And you don't want to carry those things that keep your heart in a heavy state, that affect your manifestation, affect your spirituality, affect your growth in every aspect. The fake friends, you don't want to carry them into your next universal year 1 and repeat the same cycle for the next 9 years. So that is why it is given to you at this period in time. It's not given to you because of they want to do something against, or the earth is angry with you. No. It's given to you because the universe wants to actually help you heal on a positive perspective. The reasons why we have a lot of killings of whatever we see around, like I've said, or the overdose of alcohol and drugs. The reason why we have the overdose of alcohol and drugs and all the frustration in Nigeria is because Nigerians are having a deep down wound that they don't want to face, a trauma of being used and exploited. But the ego is not really a bad thing. The ego is part of your consciousness. Ego is supposed to be aware of your subconscious and the superconscious mind to work with it, to bring oneness to you. But because people in Nigerians don't want to face the fact that they've been used. They don't want to face the fact that they've been used. And that is why that you see Nigerians right now are having a lot of distraction. They will attack your theology. They attack you when you say something that is against them. It's because of they don't want to face that reality. The 9 energy will expand it. Those that want to heal and reflect on the right things can use the 9 energy to be loving. But the ones that are not aware can use the 9 energy to cause mayhem to the society. And you're not here to fix everybody. You're just here to cultivate your personal power, so that you'll be guided by your intuition. Because those wounds, those feelings. So when next time you feel the feeling of fear, feeling of guilt, why am I feeling fear? Why am I feeling this guilt? What is the reason behind this feeling of guilt? What's my spirit trying to tell me? That is how best you can read your emotions. You and your subconscious mind communicate majorly through emotions. You and your spirit self communicates through emotions, vibes. That's why you know people that hate you without them saying a word. That's how you know you enter a room and you knew they were talking about you. That is emotion. That's energy. You cannot see it with your clear eye. But there are electric waves and impulses that your telepathic nature, which all human beings have, has read. That is the energy Mr. Femi will tell you, energy transaction. It's very, very important in this universal year 9. Denial won't save you in universal year 9. No, it's not about what your ego wants to believe, or what you're scared of. No. The universal year 9 will repeat the scenarios for you to keep suffering about it till you learn it. It's a very ruthless year. So it's not just positive thinking alone. No. Focus will also go to the negative parts, the wounds too. It's also about those parts too. You dig down the rabbit hole so that you can come out a more brave person, someone more confident, someone that is healed. So that your manifestation, which when you do this 18 days manifestation, Mr. Femi will talk more about it, because it's very important that people go down that shadow self, so that the 9 energy won't be taken advantage of from them. It's very important they go down it. Well, I think I have 45 minutes to honor Mr. Femi gave me here to spread some deep things about universal and 9. So I will just try and summarize. I'll try and summarize, and I'll continue it on Friday to teach more about it and other aspects of it for you. So any questions? Any questions?
We'll call for questions. Thank
No
you so
problem.
much, Charles. That's a brilliant one.
Mhm,
So imagine that everybody,
mhm,
imagine that you know the universal year 9 this much on your own.
mhm.
Because the truth of the matter is, can you guys hear me now? You see, let me tell you something that Neil Donald Walsh said. There's a man called Neil Donald Walsh. You should check him out, guys. But first, a round of applause to Charles Itutumene. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Neil Donald Walsh said something very profound. He said, past data should not be the basis of present truth. Listen to this. This is very important and very profound. And for you to be an advanced, enlightened, ascending person, you must see life from this perspective. Past data should not be the basis of present truth. Data from a prior time should always and only be the basis for new questions. Past data, I'm going to repeat it. Past data should not be the basis of present truth because, see, even truth evolves. I hope you know that. Because the truth of the matter is, there was a time in the history of humanity, up until recently, that the only way a child can come to this world is through the womb of a woman. That's all. There was no other alternative, at least in recorded history that we can remember. The only means of birthing a child to this 3D incarnate existence is through the womb of a woman. But you know that truth is changing. That truth is changing. Now you have laboratories, embryo laboratories. Now you have stuffs like IVF. Now you have a place where they are beginning to, what do they call this again? Synthetic babies. Now they are making synthetic babies, synthetic embryos, test tube babies. That truth is changing. Now you are having clones. Can we close that door, please? Let's always remember to close that door. Now you're having clones. Now they have succeeded in transferring consciousness from one human body to another. The only people that will not grow in this century are those who are close-minded. You know, when we speak like this, people always think that we are against religion. No, we are against you not growing. We are against you not using your brain. Because everything they have told you as is sacrosanct, is fixed, it cannot be changed. Advanced societies are changing those things. They are performing experiments in their laboratories. They are showing you the limitlessness of the world. You are seeing it like a movie, guys. But the major problem we have in Africa is that we want past data to be the basis of present truth. When past data are meant to be the basis for new questions. So you must ask yourself, why did they not have a primary election in the Democratic Party, and the same party that was crying about democracy, oh, we are against authoritarian system. but they were not democratic in any way by their choice of a president, of a presidential candidate, because they understood that based on the charts, Kamala Harris stood a better chance than Joe Biden. Kamala Harris's life path was a 5. The election day is a 5. And when you study the whole, her whole chart, you would know that the only person that could have given Donald Trump a run for his ambition is Kamala Harris. Nobody would have gotten this close to Donald Trump apart from Kamala Harris. So they knew what they were doing. So when you see all the prophecies about the election, it's just laughable. If there is one thing that prophets must stay away from, it is a political process. You're just going to embarrass yourself. Although in a country like Nigeria, you can give fake prophecies and it won't affect you because the majority are not using their brain. Right? So it is only in Nigeria that a person will come and give you fake prophecy and the person will still have a career after giving that fake prophecy. Only in Nigeria. If you do it abroad, you have lost it. It's bad market for you. But what am I trying to say here, guys? The reason we ensure that we come online is because we are getting close to the universal year 9. For people who don't have consciousness, it's going to be a catastrophic year. It's the fact. It's going to be a catastrophe. For people who don't have emotional intelligence, it's going to be a roller coaster year for them. For people who don't have the capacity to let go, they want everything right here, right now. It's going to be turbulent for such people. And this is not prophecy. It's not prophecy. It's just simple occult mathematical calculation. Grand Rise Yvonne. Charles, did a beautiful job explaining to us what the universal year 9 is. And one of the things he emphasized on is your emotions, how you need to put your emotions in check. For instance, the only people that should start anything new in 2025 are people with a personal year 1. If your personal year between 2024 and 2025 is not 1, you are meant to pause on starting anything new. So you see now, it takes a lot of emotional intelligence and discipline to understand this dimension. It does, guys. It takes a lot of emotional intelligence and discipline to understand that all you need as a life path 9 is to be conscious and be in alignment, and things will just work in your favor naturally in 2025 as a life path 9. I am yet to see a life path 8 that complained that 2024 isn't a great year for them. I'm yet to see. If I see, then it is somebody who is not conscious. Past data should not be the basis of present truth. Data from a prior time should always and only be the basis for new questions. Listen to me. This is even very serious, right? You're not even meant to start a relationship except, like I said, except you are in a personal year 1. The moment if you don't start a relationship now and you enter 2025, universal year 9, and your personal year number is not 1 or 2 or 6, forget about starting a relationship. Wait until 2026. You're not meant to start a new business. There are a lot of ideas that you have that you started before now, you have not completed. Focus on completing those ones. If your personal year one in 2025 is not 1, is not 6, you're not meant to marry. It's going to be a tough call if you go into any marriage. If you go into a relationship, talk more marriage. Listen, I've always said this to you. Numbers are superior. Numbers are superior. It's relatable. The moment you start going into all this astrology, this, that you're going to start confusing yourself. You're going to start putting too many confusions in your head. If you can't make magic with numbers, you can't make magic with anything. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Now, one of the things that is essential, this is imperative in 2025, is you must cultivate your personal power. You must cultivate your personal power. Now, in advanced society and third world countries, one of the tools that politicians use to give citizens, the masses, an illusion of power is election. The election year is that year that a lot of the masses think that they have power. The masses think they have power to influence society trajectory in an election year. You can't influence your own personal life. You think because you have a voter's card, simply because they are eligible to vote, they think they have power, influence, authority to influence society trajectory. The only power that you have to transform your life is the power that you have within yourself. Your voter's card is trash. Listen to me. Society is afraid of you cultivating and discovering your power. So why do you think politicians will give you power? Asha Divine High. Oh, now Donald Trump has won. He's going to favor who? He's going to favor Donald Trump and his family and the Republican Party and the elites, the people who are ruling that space. Those are the people he's going to favor. And it doesn't matter whether it is Hillary Clinton. You cannot continue to give your power away to political systems, to religious systems, and think that 2025 is going to be a jolly good fellow year for you. No, it's going to be disastrous. I'm not a prophet of doom. It's going to be chaotic. That was a great one from Charles. We're going to put the video on YouTube. Thank you so much. For those who are just joining, Charles took us on a 45-minute session explaining the Universal Year 9, and it was just beautiful. It was beautiful. Those who want to know how to calculate their personal year number, to calculate your personal year number, it is your month of birth plus your date of birth plus the current year. By Friday, we're going to delve deeper into that. So, guys, thank you so much for joining, and kudos to Charles. Please follow Charles on Alternate View _. We're going to drop Charles's TikTok page in the comment section because Charles is launching his podcast on the 11th of November, and the podcast is called Alternate Views, The Devil's Advocate. Different perspectives of life, different perspectives, unpopular perspectives. So follow Charles at Alternate Views _ on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook. Kindly follow Charles if you want to be part of that launch. You've pinned the comment. So thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you on Friday. Thank you.